Live from the KATC TV3 studios, this is Acadiana's News Channel at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. If you want to run for public office, you simply have to meet minimum requirements and pay the qualification fee. Well, if one Acadiana Senator has his way, candidates could one day undergo background checks before running for office in Louisiana. Senate Resolution 3, written by Senator Fred Mills, asked legislators to study the possibility of requiring both criminal and financial background checks for anyone seeking office. Our Alex Labat spoke to Senator Mills, who says if you have to have a background check to bag groceries, why don't you have to have one to become an elected official?
Have you ever wanted to be a U.S. Senator? Well, here's what you've got to do. Be at least 30 years old, been a legal resident of the United States for 9 years, and live in Louisiana when you're elected. That's it.
In constituents acts, they said, is there a background search, a criminal background search, a financial background search on a candidate when they run for office? We did some checking around, and there was not any qualifications or a process to do that.
As of now, if a candidate runs for state or federal office, there's no requirement to check that candidate's history, which could lead to officials illegally holding office, as in the case of a Krotz Springs alderman last year.
He felt like that he was certainly qualified to run. There were no impediments to him running for office.
A candidate has to wait 15 years to run for state office if convicted of a felony, unless he or she is pardoned by the governor. However, if someone decides to run for federal office, their criminal background does not come into play. And with Louisiana's record of so-called criminals, Mills wants to ensure people know they're getting what they ask for.
I think it's just making sure, one, we adhere to the law, and two, that if somebody is qualified that has that problem on their background check, that it's brought public for the entire debate for everybody to know.
I'm Alex Labat for KATC TV3.
This resolution also includes checking a potential candidate's financial history. Senator Mills says this is to make sure that person hasn't committed things like tax fraud or tax evasion. And speaking of backgrounds, many of you have been asking how former Governor Edwin Edwards is able to run for Congress. Well, because he is running for a federal office, he meets the qualifications to run. He's over the age of 25, has lived in the U.S. for more than 7 years, and is living in Louisiana, the state in which he intends to run. Edwards made the announcement about his candidacy for the District 6 congressional race yesterday in Baton Rouge.